All right, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking into this Mayday strike, which I'm also calling the Mayday Communist Uprising, which you'll see why in a minute. Now, a lot of conservative or right-wing pundits, content creators, podcasters, whatever people are calling themselves on the internet these days, are not covering this at all. And it seems to be very credible and very realistic. Like, to me, it looks like this could be the next COVID level event happening right under our noses, and not really many people are covering it. So we're gonna check out some of the basics today of what I've been checking out so far. Just got a couple articles. Of course, you can check out Karlin Boroshenko's work. She has very detailed and in-depth coverage of this topic over, I think, over a year's worth of it. And I'm just here looking at the website right now, and we'll see what it says. Okay, this is from the maydaystrike.org, which seems to be the main official site of the Mayday strike, the Mayday Communist Uprising. It said, "Why Mayday Strike Matters. We are a grassroots movement standing in solidarity with striking workers across industries. Mayday Strike empowers people to organize, demand fair conditions, and connect with communities nationwide." What is Mayday Strike? Mayday Strike is a grassroots movement dedicated to organizing and supporting labor strikes, walkouts, and protests in defense of workers' rights. We're building a space for workers to share experiences, plan collective action, and support one another in the face of exploitation and injustice. Whether you're a part of a union or acting independently, you're welcome here. We believe in worker solidarity, mutual aid, and mass action to fight back against the forces of greed, corporate abuse, and political inaction. When we fight together, we win together. A brief history of Mayday. Mayday, May 1st, also known as International Workers' Day, is rooted in the labor movement's fight for fair wages, safe working conditions, and the 8-hour workday. In 1886, the Haymarket Affair in Chicago became a pivotal movement after a peaceful protest turned violent. The events led to international recognition of May 1st as a day of labor solidarity and remembrance of those who sacrificed for workers' rights. Today, May Day continues to be a symbol of resistance, activism, and the power of collective action. A brief history of May Day. Here's how you can support Mayday Strike: organize locally, post and share, educate, donate, report exploitation. No union, no problem. Every worker has the right to speak out and act. Okay, nothing too bad there. Solidarity is our weapon, it says down there at the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to check out some other sites. This article gets more in-depth into it. Workers in 600 cities to mobilize against billionaire takeover in massive May Day protest. Nationwide demonstrations set to challenge Trump administration's pro-wealth policies, mass arrests, and immigrant crackdowns as unions and grassroots groups unite across all 50 states. Workers, students, and advocacy groups in more than 600 cities across all 50 states are planning mass protest on May 1st in what organizers are calling a response to a billionaire takeover of democracy under President Donald Trump. The May Day actions, long associated with labor rights and international solidarity, are being framed this year as a full-scale resistance to policies that protesters say favor the ultra-wealthy while dismantling critical public services and criminalizing dissent. There will be no business as usual while they are disappearing people off the street, slashing critical services, and taking away our freedoms, said Saqib Bhatti, Executive Director of Bargaining for the Common Good. They are causing a crisis in our communities. We are going to bring that crisis directly to their doorsteps. At the center of the demonstrations is a rejection of what activists describe as the Trump administration's billionaire agenda. This includes proposed cuts to foundational programs like Head Start, Medicaid, Social Security, while pursuing $4.5 trillion in tax breaks that primarily benefit the wealthiest Americans. Among those targeted by organizers is Tesla CEO Elon Musk, whom Trump appointed to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. Musk has come under fire for his role in the elimination of over 280,000 federal jobs, cuts that critics say are part of a larger project to hollow out public institutions. The protests are a response to the administration's intensifying crackdown on pro-Palestinian advocacy, which has led to the arrests of student organizers and accusations that such activism equates to anti-Semitism or terrorism. Our communities are mobilizing for Mayday because we want a world where it's workers, students, immigrants, and working-class communities who thrive, said Lone Tran, co-director of Rising Majority, and a democracy where activists like Mohammed Khalil can exercise their free speech while advocating for a ceasefire in Gaza or demanding that our government invest in housing, education, and healthcare for all instead of weapons and bombs. Demonstrations will also spotlight Trump's controversial immigration policies. A recent deal with Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele has resulted in the expulsion of hundreds of migrants, many without criminal records, to a notoriously harsh prison system. Human rights advocates say the arrangement is emblematic of a broader erosion of rights for immigrants, especially Black, Indigenous, and trans people who are increasingly targeted under federal policy. Jade Kelly, that's the first person involved with this with an English name. Jade Kelly, president of Communication Workers of America, Local 7799 in Colorado, underscored the movement's resolve. Billionaires are attacking unions and immigrants because they fear our collective power. But we're not afraid, Kelly said. Our labor movement is building something stronger than fear. May Day isn't a holiday. It's a call to action for workers across the world, across the nation. We're reclaiming May Day in the spirit it was born, in solidarity with immigrants, in defense of all working people who make our schools run, our hospitals heal, our trains move, and our cities thrive. The protest aimed to rally around a list of demands that includes full funding for education, healthcare, and housing, protection and expansion of key social programs, and the defense of civil liberties under threat. According to organizers, May Day 2025 represents not just an act of defiance, but a vision for a radically more inclusive and just democracy. These attacks will be met with our people power, and we will fight for a real democracy in the U.S. that prioritizes the well-being of all people and the planet. Okay. So that's April 2025. Here's the May Day 2028 website, May1 UAW.org. So this is supposedly the United Auto Workers, right? UAW, I think that's United Auto Workers. Okay. What is the May Day 2028 strike? After the historic success of the stand-up strike in 2023, UAW President Shawn Fain called on the rest of the labor movement to join our union in preparing to strike on May Day 2028. May Day is the International Workers' Day, and it's our opportunity to create a crisis for the billionaire class to win more for all of us. We know that when workers align their fights to the same timeline, we have more leverage than we do alone. What if we didn't just do that in a corporate chain or one union, but across the country and the labor movement? Now is the time to get ready to create that crisis for the bosses. So we can see that they're planning another one of these, a nationwide one with as many unions as they can get involved in it. I want to participate. How can I be a part of the strike? Align your contracts. If you have a contract expiring soon, push to align the expiration to as close to April 30th, 2028 as possible. Get strike ready. Building the strike weapon. So they can call it a weapon. They can call it a weapon. But if Alex Jones says, I want to take you down politically, he gets like arrested for what's it called? Inciting violence. But they can say, we're building a weapon on their website. Right here on the internet, they can say, oh, we're building a weapon. Building the strike weapon takes lots of work and preparation. We need many more unions to be strike ready to bring the billionaire class to heel in 3 years. Looking for resources on how to organize a successful contract campaign and get strike ready. Check out our Daimler case study. I guess that was from a Chrysler strike or something. Make bigger demands of our employers and our government. The working class is hurting, and we need massive transformational change to take our lives back from the billionaires. For our big three memberships, that looks like demanding retirement security from the bosses and the government. What does it look like for you and your coworkers? Find our shared enemies. The billionaires use divide and conquer tactics to keep us smaller and weaker. Who can you link up with? Who has the same target? How can you work together between now and 2028 to build power and learn how to coordinate? Organize, organize, organize. The labor movement is the smallest it's ever been. Not in a union, form one to be part of the fight for the future of the working class. Are you an auto worker who wants to organize? Go to uaw.org, join. Together, we have so much more power than we do alone. We have 3 years to do the work to show the bosses hell. Let's get to work. Okay. So, did we read all 3 of them? Okay. And you can just see here in the search, there's tons of other articles about the Mayday 2028 strike. Mayday 2028 here. So, like I'm saying, this is just kind of like a introductory video to it. Just wanted to quickly check and see what's actually going on with this stuff. And it does seem as though it is. I mean, I'm not sure how much damage just the United Auto Workers could do. But if they get the some of the other unions, like the medical, like the nurses unions, and any type of public service unions, like I know some places have like unions for like power and electric and all that other stuff. So if it's just the auto workers, I mean, I can't see that doing too much damage. But if it starts to be a bunch of other unions, you know what I'm saying? Like, UPS still has a union. So UPS has a union, and obviously the nurses union, I already said that, auto workers, right? Plumbers unions. Do carpenters have unions? I guess some carpenters are in unions, right? Let's check it out. Who's in it? Okay, list of labor unions. Okay, the National Education Association, Service Employees International Union, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, the Teamsters, United Food and Commercial Workers, that could kind of suck, United Auto Workers, United Steel Workers, American Federation of Teachers, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, that could suck, Laborers International Union of North America, I'm not sure what type of trades and construction. That could suck. International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, Aircraft Maintenance and Repair. That could suck. Communication Workers of America, telecommunications, customer service, broadcasting, public sector, healthcare, and other workers. That could suck. Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, building industry carpenters and millwrights. I mean, if you can't build a house immediately, that's not really going to do too much. International Longshore and Warehouse Union, freight handlers at ports. That could suck. International Union of Operating Engineers, operators of construction equipment, stationary engineers. That could kind of suck. United Association of Journeymen and Apprentices of Plumbing, Pipe Fitting, and Sprinkler Fitting Industry of the United States and Canada. That could suck. You know, toilet goes out, your water goes out, you can't get a pipe fitter. That could start to suck. National Association of Letter Carriers, United States Postal Service. Not that many people use that, but that could suck. American Federation of Government Employees, miscellaneous U.S. federal government workers. That would be great. If you guys all went on strike, all the U.S. federal government workers, please go on strike. Go on strike today. I support all federal workers going on strike, full strike. Let's do it. Okay. American Postal Workers Union, United States Postal Service workers other than letter carriers. Could kind of suck for business, especially. International Association of Firefighters, professional firefighters, and emergency medical service workers. That could suck. Unite Here, hotel, casino, restaurant, commercial food service workers, and garment manufacturing employees. That could suck. Not really bad, but especially the commercial food workers and restaurants. That could suck. National Postal Mail Handlers Union, again, bad for business. Amalgamated Transit, Mass Transit Service Workers. That could suck. American Nurses Association, professional association for registered nurses. That could definitely suck. International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, doesn't matter. International Association of Sheet Metal, Air, and Rail Transportation Workers, could suck if you need something repaired. International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, construction industry painters, glazers, drywall finishers, sign and display workers. That could start to suck if it goes on for a long time. International Association of Bridge, Structural, Ornamental, and Reinforcing Iron Workers. Could start to suck after a while. I mean, you don't really need to build a bridge immediately, but could start to suck, right? Transport Workers Union of America, mass transit, railroad, and airline workers. That would definitely suck. Office and professional employees, international union, white collar workers in the public and private sector, depending on which type of jobs they have. That could suck. And another, National Rural Letter Carriers Association, United States Postal Service, in rural areas. That could suck. Okay, then we got other Airline Pilots Association. That could definitely suck because that's a lot of shipping, goes through the air now. Amalgamated Transit Union definitely could suck. Federation of Government Employees, please take a strike right today. All federal government employees, just go on strike right now. Federation of Musicians, not going to really do anything though. American Federation of School Administrators, that could suck. County and municipal employees, that could suck. Teachers, again, yes, that sucks. Postal workers can suck for business. Radio Association, not too bad. Train dispatchers, that would suck. Actors and artistes, not going to really do too much to the country if actors and artistes stop working. Bakery, confectionery, tobacco workers, and grain millers, could suck if it goes on for a long time, and food shortages. Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen, That could definitely suck, causing train crashes. Well, obviously, if all the transportation workers go on strike, you won't have to worry about train crashes anyway. California school employees. I mean, I'm not going to diss California, but okay, that could suck because people have to send their kids to school so they can both go to work. Both parents can go to work, and they have to use the school as a daycare. So that's going to suck for people. Communication Workers of America, Association of Flight Attendants, Industrial Division, National Association of Broadcast Employees and Technicians, Newspaper Guild, Printing, Publishing, and Media Workers. Not going to worry about them. I mean, the Broadcast Association getting news, and the industrial flight attendants that, well, once they shut down transport, you don't need a flight attendant. Farm Labor Organizing Committee, that could suck if food shortages. Gay and Lesbian Labor Activist Network. I mean, the gay dudes stop working, that could suck. I don't see how lesbians stopping working is going to do anything, but yeah, gay dudes probably do a lot of work. International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Moving Picture Technicians, Artists, Allied Crafts of the United States, its territories, and Canada. Theatrical employees, they're not going to really shut down. That's not going to do much. International Association of Bridge Structural Ornament, we already said that. That would suck if bridges. Firefighters, yeah, that would suck. Heat and frost insulators, that could suck after a long time. International Association of Machinists Aerospace, we already went over that. Let's see if there's any different ones in here. Die stampers, I don't know. That might not shut down the country. Novelty and production workers, I don't know. Brick workers, no. Elevator constructors, they probably repair the elevators too, so that could suck. Operating engineers, that could suck. Union of Police Associations, that could suck. Major League Baseball, doesn't matter. Marine engineers, Beneficial Association. National Air Traffic Controllers, if they go on strike, that would suck. National Football League, National Hockey League, I mean, it'll suck for the fans, but it won't shut down the country. National Nurses United, that could suck. National Taxi Workers, people get Ubers anyway, so I mean, it depends where you live. National Women's Soccer League Players Association, oh, that's going to shut down the whole planet. If women stop playing soccer, it's over, guys. It's over. We might as well just pack it up right now, because if women stop playing soccer, it's going to shut down the whole planet. Okay, Office and Professional Employees International Union, that could suck depending on which jobs they have. Operative plasterers and cement masons, not urgent, but eventually that could suck if it goes on for long enough. Professional aviation safety specialist, sounds like that could suck. Professional Hockey Players Association, sorry for the fans, but it's not going to shut down the country. Seafarers International Union of North America, American Maritime Officers, Service Employees International Union, Transport Workers Unite here. Yeah, all the transport workers, all of the nurses, taxi drivers, well, that's in transport, repairmen. If all those people go on strike, that could suck, right? Adult Performance Artists Guild, oh man, that's gonna shut down the whole planet. I don't know if I'm being serious or not there, but who knows. Aircraft Mechanics Fraternal Association, yeah, aircraft mechanics can't get airplanes off the ground, and that's going to mess up shipping. Allied pilots, professional flight attendants, paper workers, could do a little something. I mean, everybody's on the computer now. Campaign workers, Directors Guild of America, Fraternal Order of Police, independent pilots. Police, if police go on strike, that could definitely suck, as we can see in Minnesota. Industrial Workers of the World, International Longshore and Warehouse, we already said that one, yeah. Home healthcare workers, that would suck. National Organization, Industrial Public Service Employees, the Jockeys Guild, Major League Baseball, basketball, sports, don't care if you shut down. Writers Union, don't care. Electrical workers, that would suck. Carpentry, that would suck. Okay, we got police departments, Basketball don't care. Okay. Okay, so we can see that some of these unions, if they shut down, it definitely would cause some problems, especially the repair people, police, postal services, airline pilots and workers, the communications workers. I already said police, food service workers. Yeah, you know, people like that, they could definitely do some damage. Yeah, so yeah, you can see that there if you want a list of labor unions in the United States on Wikipedia. All right, with that, I'm gonna get out of here for now. Like I said, this is just kind of like a first look at this topic. I'm sure there's gonna be more news coming up from this, and definitely check out Karlin Boroshenko on YouTube. How you spell it? I don't know how to spell her last name, but I think the autocorrect will do it for you. All right. I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching the video. If you did, have a good day and peace.